So the Oscars happened recently, and I'm not a big Oscars guy, right? So like,
Shocked.
I kind of need you to clue me in. I need you to clue me in. What won deservingly, what got snubbed, and what went on at the Oscars? What's the drama? Spill the tea.
This feels like bait, because you came in here being like, I have specific movie-related questions to ask you. Also, the Oscars
I have a couple of specific movie-related questions. Anyway, yeah.
By the time this episode comes out, the Oscars will have been, like a month and change ago, I think. So
okay, right.
But that's okay.
But by the time this episode got recorded, they were just 2 weeks ago.
2.5 weeks at this point. It was a pretty good ceremony overall. The wins were pretty unremarkable. Like, there weren't a lot of crazy upsets or anything like majorly surprising. I'd say there was one really exciting thing that happened that doesn't happen often, which is the tie that occurred in the short film, the live action short, which that has happened 5 times in history. Is like a tie, so that's pretty cool.
Did the horse book short film win? The I Wish to Be Brave?
No, it did not. No, The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse already unfortunately won animated short 5 years ago, and so it's not eligible in perpetuity every year. We should. Oh,
that's a shame. They should bring that back.
Next weekend when we record with Christopher and Cy, we should pull that book. Should we bring that book? Should we start? Wait, okay.
I'll set up the short film as well. I'll pull it up on the TV and we can watch that.
No. You know what would be funny? Let's all, with Cy, shout out Saeed, we should, let's prepare a bunch of quotes from the book and the short film and try to pepper them into the podcast as much as possible. See if Christopher
that's
notices.
Crazy.
He would be so pissed off.
Yeah. That's such a good idea. What the? Okay, all right.
I'm so full of them.
You're so full of it, bro.
True.
Sipping bubbly.
Hey, you know what bubbly this is?
Hey,
this is the
Mario
Mario Galaxy tied in promo.
Oh shit! The Cosmic Swirl.
I was thinking.
I'll be honest. Their
yeah, go ahead.
Their SpongeBob one was really good. The pineapple.
I didn't have it. Oh, okay.
It was good. What's that one?
This is the Cosmic Swirl. So this is it's like berry vanilla. It's a little bit too sweet for a sparkling water to the where you're like, this just tastes like a soda. It's something I was considering for next week too, for our spoilers, our Mario episode. Not next week. We're recording it next week, but it's not coming out for another 3 weeks. Is taste testing all of these the Mario tie-in bubblies and doing that, but we'll see if they're still...
That'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah, we'll see.
If they're around then.
Because what we need is more reasons to bullshit on that episode. With the 4 of us.
I couldn't imagine anything better, alright? Come on.
Coming back to the Oscars, so the live-action short tie, that was really exciting. That doesn't happen often. That's only happened, like I said, 5 or 6 times in history. And then the other thing that was kind of an upset or shocking was that Sinners lost I shouldn't say lost. One Battle After Another won the first ever Best Casting category or award. So
interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So that was a new award this year.
Happy to hear One Battle After Another.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was. People thought that Sinners had that one locked up. The fact that it went to one battle, which ultimately won Best Picture, kind of is this new casting Oscar just going to end up going to the Best Picture winner every year, or will it diversify, or will it kind of just be in lockstep with the overall favorite? It'll be interesting to see what happens in the future, since this was the first one. There's no predicting it necessarily, but yeah. So otherwise, most of the picks were pretty expected, or nothing super shocking. Yeah.
Okay. Who won Best Actor? Because it was
Michael B. Jordan.
The big two. It was Michael B. Jordan for Sinners, right?
Yes. And then Timothée Chalamet
I saw people saying,
for Marty Supreme. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I saw people saying that, I don't know. I haven't seen either of the movies,
sure.
But I'm a big Timmy guy.
Uh-huh.
I gotta say, I don't know, the clips that I saw of Marty Supreme, I didn't see any clips of Sinners. So it's kind of tough for me to, yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
The reason that Timothée Chalamet did not win Best Actor over Michael B. Jordan is because he was the front runner for a really long time. But
yeah,
ultimately,
but he talked shit on the opera,
that's
and they
really
got
not
their
it.
fucking get back.
That I knew that you were gonna fucking bring this up. No, they that happened like after voting closed. Like that clip went viral like after they voted, so like it had no bearing. Whether or not they
just smearing Timmy's good name for no reason.
Yeah, there was definitely like that was not it. That was an astroturfed clip. Like anyone who watches the greater context of that clip in good faith is going to understand what he was trying to say, and no one disagrees. It whatever. This is old discourse at this point. The reason he lost has nothing to do with like that his persona or even his performance being like rejected by the Academy. I don't think it's because that movie did not have as much interest as Sinners did at the end of the day. Like his
real
I mean it got like basically after the nominations happened, people stopped talking about that movie entirely. The only thing people ever really were talking about with that movie was Timmy, and so the fact that like this hype was cresting for Sinners kind of during like the last like couple months, and then Marty Supreme was bottoming out. It had to go that way. And you know, I don't begrudge obviously Michael B. Jordan his Oscar. I think that this is going to be in a long line of like that Academy having to correct past wrongs. So Timmy will win in the future in 10 years or something, you know, when he's a little older for like an undeserving performance. The same way that Al Pacino did, that fucking DiCaprio did, like they award, you know, and it will really be for a Marty Supreme or a Call Me by Your Name, but you know, it's going to be for, you know, in reality something shitty like The Whale, you know, it'll be some dog shit. So that's just how it goes.
It's kind of crazy how that works. Yeah, it's so like
you can trace it back.
Like a lot of it is almost socially driven, you know, where it's like there's more like rules and decorum around it rather than just like, oh, like this guy did the best this year, you know.
It's very you know, and it's very. Sometimes people like knock it. People are like, oh, it's a popularity contest, or why isn't it just the best performance? And it's like, well, are you? First off, how are you going to grade art on that kind of curve? But also, it's, you know, it's impossible to. It's impossible to say like I'm completely divorcing my opinion of Michael B. Jordan from like that's part of the acting process and the artistic process is that they're bringing all of their past kind of like screen persona and like whatever to a role. That's part of what makes him in particular so charming. I mean, spoilers for our next week's episode that comes out. We're going to be watching a Michael B. Jordan movie to celebrate. It was going to be either one of his or Timmy's was going to be my pick. But so you know, it's the same with DiCaprio. It's the same with Wagner Moura. It's the same with Ethan Hawke. Like all of those guys who got nominated. It's like you're bringing that extra context about their career and where they're at in their career to the table. You know, so anyway.
Yeah, it is super contextual. Like, and I mean, like framing it like that does make it kind of silly when, with like the like, oh, it should just be like whoever did best.
Yeah, right.
But I definitely understand like looking at it from its face because that's what it sort of like appears to be.
Sure.
But you really can't divorce the history of everyone there from like the awards being given. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. And I mean, ultimately, these are these are recognition by their peers. It's not like there's no like grading calculus, you know, that like it's not like PricewaterhouseCoopers like grading like numerically, you know, when they're doing the counting of like, okay, what is the rating that each movie got or something, you know. So it's the same, you know, as any industry. Like you're going to recognize the people who deserve it, and you know what deserve means is different depending on even the person. So there's some bullshit involved, you know, and they're, like I said, they're always correcting past wrongs. You know, do I think that PTA, because Paul Thomas Anderson won like the Triple Crown, basically he won director and adapted screenplay and best picture. I mean, he wasn't the only winner of those things, but he was on stage 3 times. Did he deserve to win for this one over, for example, you know, Boogie Nights or The Master or, you know, some of these other movies? Like maybe Magnolia. We watched a lot of PTA on this podcast. I
kind of like PTA. Yeah. He's kind of one of our guys.
He's interesting.
Yeah. But no, I definitely get where you're coming from. Where it's like, well, you know, accolades given where accolades do. Maybe not allocated perfectly. Just like I mean, and I mean, it's also tough to like look back and look at. I mean, we talked about this I think last week. Heat, right? and how when it came out, it was originally just like an action film,
Did we talk
not
about
like
Heat?
a ton of press around it. Did
we
we?
talk-
We might have.
I think you just like I had the
This
idea
might have
of
just
Heat.
been.
Yeah.
I got some of my friends to watch Heat recently, which is why it's on the brain. And we were talking about movies from like that year and from around that time.
Sure.
And like we're like, oh, like because I'd read something. I guess I thought I was talking about this with you. I guess not. Anything movie related, I'm just like, okay, this is like Lane. This is a Lane thing. Yeah.
Sure.
But like when Heat first came out, it was not like hugely appreciated, I guess. Like it was just seen as like another action movie at the time.
Yeah.
Right. But like it aged so well, and so it's funny to be able to look back and like appreciate those performances and say like, oh, well, like maybe some accolades should have been like given to it at the time. Who knows? But definitely like the people involved with it like later get recognition and they go, oh, like that was one of their good ones too. Like it sort of gets added to.
Not to make this the we want to talk about Heat podcast, but
we do want to talk about Heat though.
Heat's power is, and even at the time, was such a big deal because it was actually well after all of Pacino and De Niro, and I mean a lot of other guys are in that movie and women, but you know, that was part, like the star power of those two guys was like a huge thing that movie was sold on. And so it's not just that like, oh, it's one of their best. It's like, oh, they're still putting out their best. Like that might be the best late career movie that either of them are in. Probably the last like excellent performance from either of them. I would have to think about that, but like, yeah. But then, you know, like, speaking of Pacino in particular, you know, Pacino hadn't won until the 90s. He was in The Godfather in the 70s. He kind of gets like lost in the woods in the 80s a little bit, but then like he has like all of these like crazy good performances like Dog Day Afternoon and Serpico and like all this. And then in the 90s, he's in a dog shit movie, like a bad movie called Scent of a Woman. Yeah. And maybe we'll watch that someday. And so during that time, he beats out, and that's in 1991 is that movie. And so he beats out Denzel Washington for Malcolm X. And so it's like, well, Denzel doesn't get his Best Actor Oscar until like a decade and change later for Training Day, which then he beats out someone like Will Smith for Ali. And if Will Smith had, you know, won then instead of 15 years later or 25 years later for, you know, a dog shit, you know, Serena and Venus Williams movie, like, it's just like these things have this effect, you know, but when it comes to Pacino specifically, it's funny that like they were just so desperate to have him have a great, like a prestigious movie that they could give him an award for. If they had just waited a few years, they could have done it for Heat, but instead they gave it to him for a bad movie. So it's like, it's funny to think about these, like the effects of these things. We will talk about this more,
but it's like all butterfly effect. Yeah.
There's tons of those. With Best Actress, like, you know, they give it to these people at, you know, they did it for Tom Hanks, you know, they gave it to him for Forrest Gump, like, well, he won back to back, which is impressive, but he beats out, like Morgan Freeman and a couple other people, that like, if they had gotten theirs then, like, who would it have, you know, what, anyway, yeah, the butterfly effect is a good point.
Yeah. I guess we really didn't fall out of a coconut tree, huh? That's just crazy to think about.
All right, this is what you want to watch. My name is Lane.
My name's Ricky.
You know, if you had let me keep going, that like if you hadn't said that, we could have made this a 2-hour episode. But now you've cut us cold in 15 minutes.
Okay, well, something to sort of, I think, ease us into the next movie is I have some other questions to ask. Okay. Last week we were talking about it's an award they give out at the Cannes Festival. I want to say it's called the Jade Door. Palm Door. All right. Obviously, that's what I wanted to say. Right?
Jade Door. Hang on.
Because palm is a tree. That makes sense.
On. I'm going to add that right now to the 2026
I will say
watches.
I looked up.
That's our new best picture is the Jade Door.
I looked up the oak door earlier because I was like, oh, it's like a type of wood. And I was like, that's not a thing. It's not an oak door. Oh God.
Okay, I'm calling it the Jade
the
Door
palm,
with like a D apostrophe OOR. So that will be what we call our best picture from
Great.
Anyway, please continue.
So there's a sort of similar, or well, there's not a similar word, I guess. What I want to ask is, what is the Criterion Collection, and what decides, like, who decides what gets put into it, yada yada. And I mean, also at Cannes, like, how do people decide what, like, gets the Palme d'Or award? Is that just, like,
So
based off of voting from the people there? Or?
sort of. Okay, whoa. We're suddenly having the most academic episode of all time. No, it's fine.
Right. You can answer either one of these first.
Oh, I'll get all of them. Don't worry. A chance to be didactic on my own podcast. So Cannes is a film festival. So like they screen and like debut movies there. Now I think there's a selection process where like filmmakers have to submit them, and then I'm not sure who exactly is on the broader jury, but like typically it's like there's like a body, like a voting body, and then they usually have like a jury that's like celebrities that vote. So they have like an official, like it'll be like Woody Allen or Julianne Moore or Steven Spielberg. Like these types of people will be like the jury president, and then like the jury itself will be made up of like some lesser known people, some more well known. Quite a few people that we've talked about. The Coens have been jury president. Jane Campion, who directed Power of the Dog. But so as far as like submitting your film and like how it gets selected, that I don't know exactly. But like directors or filmmakers or studios will be like, okay, we're going to premiere at Cannes, or we're going to premiere at TIFF, which is the Toronto International Film Festival, or other film festivals along the way. Sundance is one that used to be that one's kind of hairy right now, but like so just like different film festivals, depending on like the type of film you're making, you want people to see. And then the voting for that is just like there's just like that jury, and they award the different. So the Palme d'Or isn't the only thing that they hand out at Cannes. It's just like it's their biggest prize. So that's how that works.
Okay. Cool. And now the Criterion Collection is entirely different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Criterion's like a film distribution company. So it's like
okay, right.
It's not like a film studio, although they might do, I don't know, they might finance some films, but they are specifically about like putting movies. This is because there was a K-pop Demon Hunters. That's why there was discourse about this, right? That K-pop Demon Hunters is going to be part of the Criterion Collection. I saw that. I thought immediately
that's funny though.
Yeah. I thought that's why
it's because the movie that we're going to talk about is a part of the Criterion Collection.
Yeah. So it's usually like art house movies, right? But like not necessarily. Typically they're movies that don't have great distribution, or like that was what it was historically. Since then it's become something a little bit more like prestigious, and like it means something in a different way. Like the Criterion Closet is like part of the press junket that people do, and like they have a streaming channel now, which is really cool. So, but like they basically, it's like a film preservationist like distribution house that makes these like laser discs back in the old days, and then like now they've done Blu-rays and 4K, where they kind of like archive things in like a good format. They like restore film. They like get like all of the special features like in one place, like all the good stuff. They commission a new essay, usually by like a film critic or somebody in the film industry. So that's kind of the difference. So it's not just like only like artsy, like French movies from the Palm, like it's also like It's also
which I never really thought that was right. It is also Way of the Dragon.
Did you watch Way of the Dragon?
Oh, you know what? I looked up Way of the Dragon. It's not. Reading this plot summary, it's not Way of the Dragon. It's Enter the Dragon that we're talking about.
My heart just dropped out my asshole. I thought we were about to come to this. This can't keep happening. Holy shit, Ricky.
Okay, yeah, okay. The small snippet that I just got off of the YouTube official trailer, it is definitely Enter the Dragon that I watched. Sorry, not to freak you out.
But although we talked about this because Chuck Norris just fucking died, and we were really close to killing Chuck Norris by watching that movie instead, which would have been crazy.
Yeah. Fucked up.
All right, so what's the movie this
week? This week we watched Enter the Dragon from 1973, directed by Robert Clouse. Clouse?
I think Clouse.
Clouse, yeah.
So this was a Rick's pick.
It was.
Are you having buyer's remorse about it? Is that was quite a
picker's remorse? A bit, yeah. I've heard about these movies, a lot about these movies, and like the early Bruce Lee movies, like, oh, super cool, yada yada. And so I was really excited to watch it because, I've liked other martial arts films and like action movies. I don't know, I don't know if it's because I went in with such high expectations,
Sure.
but I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would.
That's fair. Yeah. We don't
Yeah.
have a great track record with like pure action movies of like loving them.
Yeah, so what was the movie that we watched previously? I thought it was called The Killer.
It is The Killer.
And this is what I was looking up
Killer.
right before
Yeah.
the Killer. What
Yeah.
year is that from? Because I look up The Killer movie and I get 2025.
Yeah, that's
That's
a David Fincher movie. That's a different one.
1989. Interesting.
Yes. Yeah. The 89 version was the John Woo movie that we watched with Chow Yun-fat. So that's like
Yeah.
basically the only other like pure action movie I would say other than maybe like Watchmen and Escape from New York. Everything else is pretty like Waterworld is fantasy, Last Airbender, Speed Racer. Those are all kind of like fantasy movies, comedy, Sicario, drama. So this is like the first full like kung fu movie I would say that we've watched, and like one of the purest action flicks that we've seen too.
Yeah. I mean, and I did like The Killer. I liked The Killer a lot more than I thought I would.
It's good.
Yeah, I mean, okay, like knowing that it's from 1989, because originally I was sort of thinking about it as though these were released at like a similar time, and I was like, wow, this will be like a good way to like sort of compare and contrast the two.
No, but it's like 15
but
years
now
difference.
that I'm like,
yeah,
I'm like, okay, well, The Killer, it's had a lot before it, and like Enter the Dragon being one of those movies, which I guess sort of like lays the groundwork for future ones. I don't know, we could talk about, well, I guess I'll say we could talk about like the good parts of this movie before we talk about
well, what didn't you like about it? Because I feel like maybe you're actually more down on this movie than I am.
I might be.
Vibes.
It was a little schlocky. Just
you think?
Like sort of.
Buddy, you picked the movie called Enter the Dragon, and you're like, I don't know, this movie's kind of like schlocky. That's crazy. I don't know what you were expecting, my guy. That's crazy. Yeah.
I also don't know what I was expecting. I'll be completely honest with you.
What do you mean by schlocky? Because before we talked about B movies, and you were kind of like, what is
that's true. I also didn't know about that. Yeah, I mean, by all known laws of aviation, bees should not be able to fly. No. So by schlocky, I just meant that it's sort of like low production quality and maybe not like the best movie overall, right? It's like,
Tell me more about that, though. Like, what about it was low production quality and made it not great?
I guess, I don't know if it was particularly low production quality, but because like I guess like they are all like I don't know. Maybe it's just like maybe the movie just looks dated to me.
It's fair.
Like, I think it's just something about like the way that they like set up scenes and the way it's like sort of I don't know if it's the direction, if it's just like the production, the recording of it. Something about
like,
it
the
seems
framing
like
of the scenes, or the like the cinematography, or like the editing, or the blocking of like the where people stand. Like what? I'm not challenging you because I disagree.
No. Kind of all of them, I guess. Like it's again, I don't know if it's because it's just like a dating problem, but like I don't know. Looking at something like older movies that we
sure.
Yeah. It's tough because like I want to go like, oh, like looking at older movies like Tokyo Monogatari or like Kwaidan. I'm like, all right, but these are like crazy good movies, right?
Yeah.
And it feels disingenuous to try and compare the two. And I mean, like obviously those are shot like way better. They look a lot more visually interesting. Like the scenes, like the shot composition and like the way that scenes are set up and the way that people like talk to one another is just like feels like it's on like a whole nother level.
Sure. It's funny, the other two movies from 1973 that we've watched are The Exorcist and The Hourglass Sanatorium. Kind of interesting to slot this movie in as a comparison point for either of those. Now, again, I don't think you should compare they're just all three wildly different movies. I mean, there's thematic and whatever.
Wildly different, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, Hourglass Sanatorium, like, just in terms of, like, visual interest, like, what's on the screen, like,
Well,
how
sure.
engaged I am with the material,
There's
blows this movie
500,000
out of the fucking water!
objects
Right?
in that movie on the screen at all times. You know, that movie is like looking
Right,
at Where's
right.
Waldo. Like, it's crazy, but like rotten, you know?
And then for, like, The Exorcist, it's like, I mean, great story, great acting,
Totally different movie.
and
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
totally different movie, but it looks really good. Like, The Exorcist, like, looks like a movie that, like, I would go and watch in theaters today, and, like, no part of my watching experience would be even the least bit ironic. But if I was to go watch Enter the Dragon in theaters today,
Interesting.
at least a portion of that is, like, ironic watching, where I'm like, all right, well, you know, it's not like, I'm like, yeah, like, okay. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
But I do think the production quality is just, like, lower, and it feels...
Sure.
I think a lot of the hype around it feels more, like, film culty than it does, like, oh, like, this is, like, just, like, a really good fucking movie that you should watch. Like,
Sure.
I could, like, recommend The Exorcist to anybody and just be like, oh, like, it's a great film, like, you should definitely watch it. If like, for watching Enter the Dragon, I would have to, like, preface it with, like, oh, like...
Sure.
It's a good popcorn flick, like, oh, like it's really fun, like, you'd probably enjoy watching it, but, like...
Yeah.
I don't know how... It's not, like, highbrow, I guess. I don't know.
It's interesting because, like, what do you think of John Wick? You're, like, kind of like, they're fine, right? Like, you like them, but... Right? Because, like, for me, this movie slides off me like water. But that's because I'm not really an action, like guns and fighting, like martial arts I don't really enjoy that type of movie. The things I like the most about this movie are not those scenes or not those bits. But I think for somebody who really like, it might be a matter of, like, taste or familiarity for us, where because we aren't super well versed in, like, kung fu movies to begin with, or like martial arts movies more generally, you know, that there might be stuff in here that's just, like, missing us entirely. Like, I'm wondering, like, how influential was this movie? I don't disagree. I thought this movie was fine. Like, I enjoyed it mostly. But the people who, like, I think really like this genre probably recognize this as a touchstone of it for a reason, and that's just a reason that's, like, opaque to us.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. I don't know. As far as, like, John Wick, I really enjoyed the first movie, and I feel like the appeal of it just goes down with each one.
Interesting. Yeah.
They're very... I don't know. I mean, it's cool watching Keanu, like do, like, CQC,
Sure.
you know, like, taking down someone and then, like, taking their gun and, like, taking it apart in, like, 2 seconds, putting it back together and, like, firing off, like, really quick, accurate shots. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Like, that's like, fun and interesting. But, like, the bit does kind of wear off.
Yeah.
And I mean, the most interesting scenes are, I'll say that, like, these movies are kind of similar in that there are sort of, like, lulls where, not much, in quotes, not much is happening. And then there's, like, more, like, intense action scenes where, like, you're super focused and
your
whatnot.
favorite word, set pieces. I would say this is a movie made of mostly set pieces.
Yes. Yeah. The thing is, so, like, John Wick does that, but a lot of times it's just, like, there's 1,000 different people set up as set pieces for him to, like, take down, like, one after the other, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, the like, tenser action scenes where he's fighting, like, I'll call it, like, a named villain, right? Which is, like, what they essentially do in here as well. Like, I feel like this movie does kind of, like, set that. Yeah. It's just that, like, the baseline sort of, like, attention level that, like, John Wick has, or, like, is, like, a bit higher. It's almost it's like Subway Surfers on screen constantly.
More,
you know,
it's highly more frequent, or, like, faster paced. Yeah. See, that's interesting.
Which, like, I kind of like.
You like that? I find it. I
the
get
John
exhausted.
Wick style of, like,
yeah.
I do like it. I like that, like, baseline of, like, something to keep me watching. I guess I don't know.
That's interesting. See, have you ever seen? So you like the Transformers movies with Michael Bay, right? You like those?
Yeah, I do.
I bet you do.
Yeah,
you're fucking 10 years old. You have Subway Surfers and Minecraft.
They're so cool. They're so fucking cool.
Family Guy clips. I saw like 4 years ago, I saw Ambu LA Lance, the Michael Bay movie. It's ambulance, but they like put the LA
Yeah,
in.
I got
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
And that's like Jake Gyllenhaal and like, I don't know, a bunch of other fucking weird guys. And that movie, I saw it in theaters with him and Zach Waldo. Speaking of, where's Waldo?
Yeah.
I had never seen, it was my first ever Michael Bay movie that I had seen. And to see that in the theater, that movie cuts like 7 times per heartbeat. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's nuts.
Yeah.
And it's
He
like
does
everything
that.
is a drone shot, and it's just like constantly we're just like we're circling and like swooping. And, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I couldn't, like, you can't breathe when those types of movies, like, not like, I get it as like an amusement park thing, but it is. I'm like, whoa, this is like unbelievably like boring, because it's just like you just are hit with these images over and over again. You go numb. And so I find myself not quite that bad with John Wick, but like any action movie with that where there's not a lot of like downtime. Like the best part of John Wick is Lawrence Fishburne playing the pigeon lady from Home Alone 2. Like,
yes.
slash Ghost Dog.
Yeah.
So, you know, yeah.
So those movies, especially, I'll say like Michael Bay movies, kind of feel schlocky in like a different way, right?
Totally,
where
yeah.
it's like there's just like no story, or like the story is so hand wavy, like it really doesn't matter. Yeah, it's you get like a minute or two of exposition, and then it's like, all right, back to the action. We're here for, like, this is what you came for. Yeah, we got robots. Yeah. And like that's kind of why I love them.
That's fair.
But
this one's so slow because it's from the 70s.
It is. But
jacked up your palate with Michael Bay, and so you can watch a movie that doesn't have Family Guy clips playing.
Well, no, wait, pause. Let me finish. Because all right, I will address that with those movies, and like the John Wick films as well. It does get to a point where like an hour or an hour and a half in, like all of your neurons are like burned out, and you're like, all right, whatever. Like, yeah, I get it. Like, shit is happening, yada yada. And that's when they hit you with like the big scenes, right? And like, I feel like this movie also is like pretty similar, where like I don't know, every so often I'd be like,
that's
it is called pacing. It is called pacing. I would just get to the point where I'm
structure. They teach a lot of this in screenwriting school.
I've never been to screenwriting school. I'm an idiot.
No, you're fine. No, I know what you mean though. It is. It's well paced in that way, even if it's faster or slower. Like the idea of like, okay, we're going to take a minute to breathe, and then we're going to hit you with a big thing, or, you know, whatever. We're going to make you laugh, or, you know, whatever. We'll show you some kind of like devious thing that's not like a big action thing, but we're, you know, setting up characters, you know, tension.
Building tension. Yeah.
So I don't know. I find it interesting that you still bounce so hard off of this one.
I don't think it was that, well, I want to say I don't think it was that bad. But at the same time, like, I definitely was expecting a lot more. And I don't know, like, why.
Yeah, this movie has a huge
way.
reputation. And, like, so does Bruce Lee, right? Like, he's, like, a mythic, like, figure, right? So, you know, it has this, like, kind of, like, legendary died young thing. And then the stuff with his son. So, like, it makes sense. But, yeah, I guess I'm just surprised that, like, after the first couple minutes, you didn't adjust your expectations to be like, oh, I know what kind of movie I'm in for. Which is fair. I'm not knocking you. Yeah.
I did after the first couple. I would say the first couple of minutes like let me down a bit. I was like, oh, okay, like martial arts. I was like, oh, all right, and like it was like, oh, like you've entered like the spiritual realm, and then like they like go like back and forth. I was like, oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I kind of wonder, so like something that The Killer has going for it that this movie does not is that The Killer was like written, you know, and like starred exclusively like people from Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And this movie was like Americans mostly, but then the cast is like a weird blend of like Chinese folks and like there's some English people in there. So I kind of wonder how much of it is like, you know, writing things in, you know, kind of like a surface level, like English way versus like obviously The Killer has like a lot more depth, like thematically to it than I think this movie does.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. This movie felt like vaguely racist.
Oh, vaguely?
Maybe just outright racist.
Hey, real quick question. Why is this movie called Enter the Dragon? Can anyone tell me? Christopher and I came to an agreement. He's down. Man down. Diva down.
Okay, alright. It's not the most racially sensitive movie. Yeah. I got you. My bad.
No, you're fine. Plus the character of Williams, the black man who is like shown to have an insatiable sexual appetite, and like there's some like weirdly progressive stuff in here, and then some weirdly like, I mean, not weirdly for the time, I guess.
It's tough.
Like, yeah, but
yeah.
Chris and I came to the conclusion that the dragon, quote unquote, is the complex business operation of like smuggling opiates, like that's what the dragon is. He's entering the complex, you know. That's what we told ourselves. But yeah, the fact that this movie's called Enter the Dragon is like rule number 1 of racial insensitivity, equating Asian people to dragons. But yeah,
you're not wrong. Just a point about the killer. It is also that is like higher baseline action. That's a lot closer to like John Wick. Like John Wick feels like it riffs like directly off of the killer rather than like riffing off of like Enter the Dragon or like an earlier action film in some ways. I don't know, maybe, but like again, I feel like a lot of these movies are maybe more derivative than I'm giving them like credence for.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're all, like, we'll have to watch Kill Bill someday so that you can really see derivativeness, but derivation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one of the movies that I recommend, or that I pitched recently was the movie that Kill Bill is based off of, right? What is it?
Oh, Lady Snowblood?
Lady Snowblood. Yeah.
Lady Bird, completely different fucking movie. That's really funny that you just said that. Yeah, no, I mean, that's Tarantino's whole thing. Whatever. He doesn't need any more time on the podcast. But we watched Reservoir Dogs. That's all we really got to do, probably. But no, I imagine that like if we were more acclimated with like these types of martial arts films from this time period, especially like the ones that Bruce Lee made, so that we could get a better sense of like his artistry. Maybe watch some Jackie Chan ones, because I know that was your in with this movie. That was how this movie got on your radar, was that Jackie Chan has like a extremely minor like bit part, basically a cameo. So like watching some
which
of those,
I did not notice, by the way.
I only saw it.
I did not pick up on Jackie Chan
because I had looked it up during that episode to see where it was. So I noticed he's just somebody that he Bruce, like, that's all. Like it's not
right.
crazy.
Yeah, sort of figured.
Yeah. But you know, overall, I didn't mind this movie. I was definitely like kind of, my brain turned off a bit during the martial arts scenes, but I think there's stuff in here that might be super influential, not just because I think this movie might not just be like, oh, it was so groundbreaking for the time, the way it was shot, or like the way, you know, the blends of genres, which I think that's something that sets this movie apart probably, is that it's a lot like a James Bond movie, like the infiltration and, you know, but I think this was supposed to be his big American crossover movie, and then he fucking died, you know? So I think, I think that's probably a big part of it. It's so tied up with his legacy and like the crossing over of like martial arts into the mainstream in the West, like these types of movies. I think that's probably why this movie is so well known versus like the actual content of it. That's probably a big chunk of it. Yeah,
I could see that. I really would have. I don't know. I would have loved to see like Bruce Lee, like future Bruce Lee films, if, you know, he had like become big, I guess. Just to see like how he would have developed, I guess. As an actor.
Is there a Jackie Chan if Bruce Lee doesn't die? You know, I know that maybe that's like they're like, I don't know enough about these two guys to like compare their like martial arts style or like their acting or like anything about them, but like it is kind of funny that, you know, Jackie Chan ended up becoming like this big crossover guy like shortly after this movie hits, you know, and it kind of like, it would Bruce Lee have been the more compelling figure, or like would he have, you know, like butterfly effects, I guess.
Yeah, kind of interesting. I don't know. It's tough to say, right? Like,
yeah, or maybe they would have. I mean, it would have been cool if maybe they would both have their own niche and they would have both gone on to do different things, you know, and that would like that'd be the ideal. But it's hard to say.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a shame. I don't know. I don't know. Talking about the movie though, I really liked the martial arts scenes. I thought they were super sick.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I just think they were fun. It's also like a lot of the action scenes, like watching them, it's like, oh, like this guy just got hit. Like,
yeah,
it's like, oh, like they're
think
not
so?
like.
Do you think some of them? I feel like there's probably a lot more
for some of them,
in
for
this.
sure.
Yeah, true. There's no faking
there's some
like
scenes where
throwing
like
people off of buildings and shit like that. So yeah.
yeah. I mean, watching it, like, it's fun for me to be like, oh, okay, like I can see like where they're sort of like jumping back or like where they're like pretending to get hit. But then like sometimes like I see a punch or like a kick or something, and I'm like, that guy just got fucking hit. Like that's it. Like end of the day, like that guy like just took like a kick right to the face. Like
yeah.
Which,
I mean,
it's
kind of interesting that like faking this stuff, just like they say with wrestling, is just as like challenging to the body as as doing it for
just
real.
Being hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm trying to think if there's like an action movie with like martial arts. Even like I don't really love like I think the gunfight stuff in like Heat, to use a reference point that we we both know, is like the reason. I don't know. It's not as like it's highly choreographed, but it's not as like rapid or like I don't know. There's so much emotion to it in a way that I find like sometimes things like this or like John Wick, there's not a lot of like emotionality or like character backing up what's going on, and so there's not as much like he's just mowing down henchmen, versus like So it's hard to kind of stay engaged, at least for me. Whereas I'm just like they might as well just be doing backflips and like whatever, jumping off the walls. Like that would be just as like interesting.
Well, even when I mean, just for me at least, when he's like fighting like the main guys or like the main like evil guys, I'm like, yeah, all right, like I get that they're the bad guys.
Yeah.
Like in like the middle when he's like killing that guy and the guy like is like cracking the bottles to like go and stab him. I'm like, yeah, all right, cool, and like cool kicks, like it looks sick. But I like there's not a ton of like emotional attachment or like I don't know. I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. Like he's kicking the bad guy. I get it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So like even the last scene here, which I guess was supposed to be like the climax of the film, right? Where he's like
runs through
he's
the
questioning himself. He's in the mirrors. Yeah. It looks cool visually, right?
It looks a lot like an Orson Welles film that we'll watch someday called The League from Shanghai.
Ooh, okay.
Watch the fuck out of that.
But it feels like you sort of mentioned earlier, like a very sort of like shallow, like I guess like English or like like anglicized take on like what like mysticism, like Eastern mysticism, sort of, like, looks like.
It's
go
ahead.
I feel like a lot of parts of this movie do feel very like shallow interpretations of like Eastern mysticism or like Eastern like corruption, and it's like, oh, okay, like like all of the storyline feels very, very like shallow, surface level, and like it really detracts a lot from like me being able to enjoy like even like the fighting scenes, because I'm like, oh, okay, cool, like they're having a tournament on Fight Island. It's Fight Drug Island. Like, okay, like all right, I don't know, man.
I don't disagree. The opening where they're talking, like the Shaolin monk kind of like as they're kind of talking about like, and Han, like his island is like full of corruption and he's strayed from the path. It's just full of gibberish. It's just like a lot of like philosophy. I don't know. I feel bad saying that, and like maybe some of this was like lost in translation and got notes from Bruce Lee, because this is someone I don't know a lot about. So maybe there's more to his like philosophy than is depicted in this movie, or like who knows if this is a good representation of it. But a lot of it just sounds like it was written to sound cool and not really pass the smell test. And I think that fits with some of these like the set pieces, and like there's also the thing that you mentioned about like him reflecting on himself in this mirror and like kind of trusting himself or whatever. That is a really generous interpretation for a character that we don't see any temptation. We don't really see any struggle. Yeah, there's no arc.
Yeah, there's no build up to this. Yeah, it's just like right at the end, it's like, oh, now he's questioning himself because he's in a room of mirrors. It's like, thank God he's not fighting Han in like a fucking amusement park or something, bro. Like, Like, what are we doing here? Is he going to be afraid of the ring toss next? Like, get the fuck out. No. That's, I'm being really uncharitable with that interpretation. But, like.
But I hear you, yeah. It's like a shallow way of
Yeah.
being like, this is really like, it is a cool looking, like, scene, but
it's very visually interesting, but there's not much to it, and it doesn't fit with, like, the rest of the story, even, I guess? Like.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like you said, like it does kind of parts of it go for like that James Bond-esque, like, he's infiltrating the island.
Some of the music.
But then it's just but then he's just like mowing down like bad guys for like 10 minutes after he like sneaks in. It's like okay.
Well, James Bond is the same way, so I don't feel there's no arc in a lot of
actually
movies, but,
true.
But I don't disagree, like it's still shallow,
Yeah.
Yeah. Just while we're on the topic of ragging on this movie, before we talk about some more of the things that we did like, when you mentioned the production design earlier, I think that's one of the they did the best with the money they had, but some of the sets, especially once they're inside the palace, are tough. There's always like a big value to just having a huge crowd of guys like running down some stairs and fighting, like that's really cool, but when it looks like they're in Spirit Halloween, like some of that, like on the inside is tough. The jail cell looks like it was made of, tinfoil. Like it's not great. But it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, I think it's the fact that it seems like it's going for something deeper at times, right?
Yeah.
In this like really sort of shallow way, and like with its like very limited budget, that like. And the fact that it has like such a huge reputation behind it, that like really, really makes it's that like 1-2 punch of like I'm expecting a lot, and then like every so often it like hints at like, oh, like maybe we're looking to do something more. Yeah, it's like okay, just not there for me. Yeah.
I liked the three guys. I actually did like that kind of setup.
Our main guys,
our main three. Yeah, I thought that was fun. That was where kind of the most depth comes in. I don't like the idea of like, well, he has to avenge his sister. It's not enough that he's going in there to like help his, master or, like kind of like tame this dude who's gone off the path. But then he's also got this like, by the way, your sister under threat of rape who beat the shit out of some guys, then is like facing this guy and instead of whatever, like getting attacked is like kills herself. Like that was crazy. I was like, this is so unnecessary.
Also, it's just like lore dumped at the beginning by like his like temple master or whatever, and like he says it as like an aside. He's like, "Oh, like by the way, I'm so glad you wanted to go like fight Han because
his dudes.
He's the reason your sister died." And so like when you get back to like your homeland, pour one out for your mom and your sister, and then go fight Han. And it's like, what? It's so like I get like that it's like supposed to be like building tension or whatever, or like adding stakes, but that's also like the only time we really hear about that. And it's like
that
they just
and
move on.
It's the English guy, or is he the English speaking white guy? He's like he's in money, he's in debt, so that's like a kind of like a he kind of gets a little bit swayed by Han a little bit more. And then Jim Kelly is the name of the other, the black man. He's like kind of just there for fun. Like it doesn't really, like I didn't really get why he was there, like what his like stakes were. I think he's just like on the run and he just hops on a boat and ends up over there. And then he's like, oh, I know you guys. Let's meet up. Like it's very bizarre how but I
thought he was like a cop or something. Am I crazy?
I think he was just on the run from the cops because he like gets in the fight with them and maybe.
Yeah.
But But no. But then he says some of the the two of them say some of the more interesting dialogue, mostly because they're the ones talking more than Bruce Lee does. Like, they get to kind of have like the witty asides and like the funny scenes, where they call the women back to their rooms and stuff and. At one point that actor they comment about ghettos. They're like, ghettos are the same everywhere. I was like, that's kind of like an interesting thing to like say, in this movie that's otherwise pretty shallow. Like that's a I don't know, like a more depth provoking or thought provoking line than you would think. But then he's like totally fine with engaging in basically prostitution on this island. So it's like, okay, I don't know. Yeah, the both of them are.
yeah, it's kind of all over the place. With like where like the morals and like how upstanding these guys are. Because like, I know the white guy, like, yeah, he gets like swayed by like the money. And like Han kills a dude like right in front of him, and he's like so like disgusted by it. I was like, okay,
yeah.
Why does he kill William? I know he does like the claw thing, which is like, all right, sure.
He wants to leave. He's like he's like, I don't want to play around with this anymore, and then he wants to leave. And that's when he shows the white guy his body. Like Han shows Roper Williams' body. Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah.
You know, it's fine. It's whatever. It's fine. What did you think of when Roper is like being shown the cat guillotine and like rescues the cat, and then like Han is like, oh, I guess there's a line you won't cross, and pulls the lever, and Roper just kind of like shrugs to the camera and goes like, huh, fool me again. I was like, dog, you need to leave. Like, how are you not like about this? You know, you sort of make a quip to the camera. Okay, but I mean, but it's funny.
Yeah, they do just make the quips to the camera. Bruce Lee doesn't get like many quips to the camera. He's
in the beginning,
he's all about business.
But in the beginning, when he's like, "Can I get a gun?" and they're like, "Oh, we can't get guns on the island." He's super. This guy's super paranoid about getting assassinated, and then he like kind of like rolls his eyes and of course or something. So there's a couple scenes like that, but yeah, it's mostly business.
That was really funny too, because he was like, "Okay, well." Then I just need me. He's like fucking fine. Yeah.
He is an interesting. Like he has on-screen charisma. You know, even outside of the like, the way he sneaks is really fun. Like the way he like sneaks around is like is watchable. You know.
I mean, I definitely think that there's like potential for like if Bruce Lee had like continued as an actor, 10 or 15 years after this, like at around the same time as The Killer coming out, like there could have been a Bruce Lee film that is like where he gets to actually like, you know, display like, you know, he seems like a like fun, chops. Interesting guy, I guess, you know. Yeah, it seems like he could make something fun to watch.
I feel like his
I don't have a lot.
Intense like physicality, like the way he holds his body is almost distractingly like engaging in this movie, because like even in scenes where he's like not fighting, he's just sitting and talking or standing, he looks like he's so aware of where his body is and like how his body is moving or not moving, and it's almost distracting, like how like and it's just an interesting thing to see as an actor, like what that would or wouldn't lend to in like a more complex like dramatic role, because that kind of like discipline over your body is like a very powerful thing as an actor. So it's a shame, that we didn't get to see him take on something that was like purely drama or something. I mean, I'm guessing that he didn't have anything in his filmography like that, but yeah. I kind of wish that there had been. This is going to sound really dumb. I wish there was more like physical bits, I guess. Like yes, there's a lot of physicality, and yes, there's a lot of like guys fighting each other, but I'm thinking more like Tobey Maguire in like in Spider-Man, like grabbing things that are like falling, like stuff like that. Yeah,
like I don't know, like grabbing vases or something that's falling. Like I feel like there's like potential where he could have like there would have been interesting ways to make him like sneak around, and like I guess he kind of does that a little bit with like some of like the plants and like where he like bumps into stuff and like, grabs it and whatnot, or like when he he grabs the snake and like before it can strike.
Right.
Like there's
things that are not fighting.
Right. And like there's some like interesting avenues that they start to go down with that, but they could have done so much more. And like that, those parts were like you said earlier, like the non-fighting stuff is definitely a lot more interesting, and like that is so much more interesting than just seeing him like land and like kick like 4 guys in a row and like, you know, like hack and slash away. Yeah, it's like
the screaming is fun. I was like, man, he's just yelling. Like I get it.
Some of them are pretty sick, and then some of them I'm like, all right, like let's move it on. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It is fun, but it's again for like the reputation that it has. It's just I feel like the movie falls flat for me. Right.
I would be interested to watch this in a theater. I could see this being like way
Yeah.
more interesting on a big ass screen, versus like a TV.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I would give this movie like a 3.5 or a 3.75 out of 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. I haven't rated it yet officially, but there were things that like haven't aged well. I'm willing to kind of forgive those. Obviously this is not the genre for me, but I think there's still enough going on here. Like, yeah, there's still enough of a weirdness to this movie that isn't just like completely forgettable. So
yeah. This movie is for me both like weird complimentary and weird derogatory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm still 50-50 on where I sit for like the like weights on either of those,
Sure.
Because it's real.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's a different movie than we've watched, It's very different.
Yeah.
So I get that. Yeah.
I will say I've seen Ip Man. I love the Ip Man films.
Interesting. I fell asleep through Ip Man, but I saw The Protector, which is kind of adjacent. That was another, because Christopher likes Ip Man, but he said the Protector was one that I would like more. That one's about Tony Jaa. He like protects an elephant. Like he goes and rescues like an elephant. Yeah, it's cool. It was fun. That's a movie where you're like, oh, like he's like punching these people to death. Like
Yeah.
So, but I haven't seen Ip Man all the way through.
So good. I love all the Ip Man films.
Yeah.
Which I think I was expecting something more
like
akin to those when watching this. Yeah.
That's fair. I think, well, and, not to be away. I think that those movies have enough of maybe a state influence, the Ip Man movies do, from what I've heard, that maybe there's like a higher production quality and like a little bit more artistry and whatnot in there that, I could see that. I could see them being better.
When I first watched those movies, and especially the second one, I like this was when I was like in high school, so like I had like just been like on like big anime binge, and I had only ever seen like Japan painted as like the good guys, right?
And so then suddenly you watched it, man.
Yeah, I was watching it, man, and I was like, oh, wait a second. I was like, this is it was super like interesting, because like the way like when they have like the pre-screened or like the like title cards or whatever, it was like, oh, like like Japan begins their like torturous invasion of yada, and I was like, oh shit,
wait,
I was like, they're the bad guys, and then like it was super interesting seeing like a different point of view like that, and especially like in like media that I had picked out myself, because like obviously like in high school, like you see that in like social studies class, and I was like, oh, okay, sure, like whatever. And I was like, oh, like media bias, inherent bias. I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, I get it. I understand. I can like.
And then you watched it, and you were like,
oh,
wait.
When it happened in media that, when it happened in media that I picked out, I was like, oh, fuck, you're right. Funny. Maybe Grave of the Fireflies isn't the only like seminal World War II. Like,
that movie.
I don't know. Yeah, it was. I don't know, just interesting. And I think maybe that's why they have like a special like spot in like my heart. It's just because like I was like, oh, okay, like it definitely opened my eyes a little bit in that regard, and I really appreciate it for that. But I do think they're just like really good movies outside that. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll have to watch them all the way through someday.
Yeah, you'll have to stay awake from them someday.
Yeah. Bruce Lee trained under the actual Ip Man, so
yeah, so they go into that in the later movies. There's like 4 Ip Man movies.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, good for Donnie Yen having like a paycheck for the rest of his life. Right. When he shows up in what Star Wars movie is he in? Where he plays like the blind martial artist. Like it's like bad. It's really bad. He's what's the Rogue One? That movie's bad. I don't like Rogue One. But
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, that's fine. Anyway,
good for him.
Anything else?
Get that bag.
To say about Enter the Dragon from 1973, directed by Robert Clouse. Did not recognize a single other movie this man directed. Sorry to this man.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, sorry, Klaus. Yeah, I'm also seeing nothing.
Yeah. Oh, don't look too close. Look away. Look away. Look away. Look away. Look away. No, for real. Look away. Don't look. Don't read.
Why? Okay, all right.
All right. Close the tab. All right.
Okay.
Ricky, I want to play a little game.
Oh god. Is
You
this
thought-
gonna be
you
other
thought I
Iron
forgot.
Klaus movies or whatever it is?
No. So recently I had closed that fucking
Robert
tab
Clouse.
to it.
Okay. I was looking at Ironheart, that's why I said Iron Klaus. Anyway, yeah,
Oh.
Robert Clouse. It's closed.
So recently I've been building out my music collection, and I'm a big fan of the Beastie Boys. They have a great discography going back to the 80s. Just a great a great group. And as I was downloading their music, I thought, well, a lot of these sound like they could be action movies. And so I have prepared a list of 15. Ricky's just getting closer and closer to the camera. Of 15 each of kung fu and action movies and songs from various Beastie Boys CDs.
Oh,
And I would like you, based on their name, to tell me if they are either the name of a movie, the name of a Beastie Boys song, or both.
Oh no!
So 30 total. So we'll do this kind of quick, but unless you want to make this a 2-hour episode, like you said, it could be.
Nope. No. Let's go quick.
All right. Your first one, The Grasshopper Unit.
Ooh, action movie.
No, that is a Beastie Boys song.
Okay, nice. Go on.
The Brouhaha.
Ooh, that's an action movie.
No, that is also a Beastie Boys song from To the Five Boroughs. The first one was from Hello
Okay.
Nasty. The Big Boss.
Beastie Boys?
No, that is an action movie. This is fun.
Okay.
This is going to be a complete 50-50 shot. Okay. Groove Holmes.
They both sound wrong! Is it both? Is this one both?
No, this is a song by the Beastie Boys from Check Your Head. Rumble in the Bronx.
Beastie Boys. Fuck you. No, it's gonna be a movie. Fuck you.
Which is it, Ricky?
It's a movie.
It is a movie. That one you got right. Good job. Okay.
The first one, right, by the way, out of like 5.
Oh, I know. I'm keeping track. All right. Long Burn the Fire.
Beastie Boys.
Nice. Well done. That's from Hot Sauce Committee. Force 5.
Oh, that's a movie.
It is a movie. Good job.
Yeah.
Okay, you're coming back. You're coming back here. Cradle to the Grave with a 2.
Movie.
You're getting good at this now. You've unlocked it. Are you familiar with the Beastie Boys at all? Like, do you know anything about the...
Vaguely. I've listened to them, but I've never like deep dove on them, so I'm not very familiar with their song titles.
Not, yeah, right.
Yeah, like I'll hear them and I'll be like, "Oh shit, like this is the Beastie Boys," but like almost no song will I be like, "Oh, like able to recognize."
Well, you're definitely not going to be able to recognize any of these. I did not pick any of their like known singles, like Sabotage or Brass Monkey, but
yeah.
The Rat Cage.
Oh, Beastie Boys.
That is a Beastie song from the Mix Up. Instant Death.
Movie. That's a fucking action movie.
It's both.
It's both?
It's both a movie.
Fuck!
A movie and a song off of Hello Nasty. Rapid Fire.
Ooh, song.
That is a movie.
Wow. Okay.
Futterman's Rule.
What rule?
Futterman's.
Waterman's?
Futterman's. Futterman's? Futterman's. Like Fetterman, but with a U, unfortunately.
Yeah. I'm gonna say a movie.
It is not a movie, it is a song from Ill Communication.
Wow.
Hot Potato.
Movie.
One's a movie.
One of these has to be a movie eventually. Yeah.
The Grandmaster.
Oh, dude, I want to say a movie again.
It is a movie, good job.
Okay.
The Melee.
Both.
No, that one is a song from The Mix Up. The Kangaroo Rat.
I was gonna say song, I was like, ooh, song.
That is a song. I thought I'd get you with that one. That one is also from The Mix Up. The Negotiation Limerick File.
Fuck you. That's a song.
That is a song. That one's off Hello Nasty. Righting Wrongs.
Movie.
That is a movie.
Maybe
Have you
both?
seen it?
Movie.
You saw it?
Okay.
You
No.
looked like you recognized it. Okay. Above the Law.
Both?
No, that one is a movie.
I've got to stop saying both.
Ask for Janice.
I'm always wrong with it. Song.
That is a song. That's off of Paul's Boutique. The New Style.
Oh, fuck. That's one that I feel like could be both, but I'm gonna say it's a song.
It is a song. That's off of Licensed Child. Good job. Black Belt Jones.
Song.
No, that is a movie.
Fuck!
Blue Nun.
Okay. Ooh, song.
That one is a song. I thought for sure I'd get you going
That's
back to back with those.
No.
No retreat, no surrender.
Fuck. I want to say both. A song. It's a song.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
It's a movie. China O'Brien.
Dude, no. That's a song that you're trying to bait me into thinking it's a movie.
It's a movie. There's two of them.
Fuck!
Robert Clouse
There's no way! What?
Game of Death.
Name of Death?
Game with a G.
Game. Both.
That one's just a movie, son.
Yeah, okay. Alright, okay.
Bodhisattva Vow
Song.
is a song of communication. Read the Hard Way.
Movie?
It's both, my friend. It is both a movie and a song off of 2 of the 5 boroughs. 1 down, 2 to go.
Okay. Oh, is that the title?
No, that's the name. Yeah.
Movie?
That is a movie. Good job. And your last one.
Huh?
Macked, Hammered, Slaughtered, and Shafted.
Song.
No, it's a movie.
Fuck! I thought you were gonna say both for a second there.
No, that'd be crazy. That would be so crazy.
Oh my god, that would be insane. Huh?
Totally.
I have a sub 50% on this. I guarantee it.
I don't think you do, actually. I think you did better. You picked up on
I think I got like 12 out of 30. I'm thinking I hit a solid 40%.
You got 15. You're exactly 50-50.
15, exactly 50-50. Wow.
Extrapolating
I could have just picked one of all of them. Although it wouldn't have counted because there's both. So
That's true. So overall, then, I think you could just take this to the broader view, which is any given Beastie Boys song may also be the name. They're completely interchangeable. Well done.
That's so crazy.
That's so funny.
Wow. Good game, by the way.
Thank you.
That's a really good one.
When I was downloading their music yesterday, I was like, oh my god, like, it all fucking fits. Like, we gotta put there.
Jeez.
I've never heard you say good game. You shouldn't say
I'm mad about how good this one was.
Maybe we'll do it next time we do a Kung Fu movie, because there's tons more Beastie Boys songs, and there's tons more fucking Kung Fu movies out there, so. Alright.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah. What's your next week's lane from, what's next week's episode?
Next week's episode,
I guess I should ask.
It will be next, we'll talk off mic about what we're recording next, but our next week's episode, so in celebration of Michael B. Jordan winning his Best Actor Oscar, Michael B. Jordan hasn't been in a ton of movies, but one thing that he is iconically known for is the role of Adonis Creed. He's in Creed. He's in the reboots of Rocky. I have not seen any of the Rocky movies, so I'm not sure if there's like a lot of lore going on there. But that movie, Creed, the first one, stars him and is directed by Ryan Coogler, the director of Sinners. Have you seen it?
No.
Me either. I might watch Rocky. No, we have to watch Rocky for the pod, don't we? Like, we should watch that together because it's like an iconic Philly movie.
I've seen it. I mean,
it
is an iconic Philly movie. That's why I've seen it. The boxing commissioner in Rocky.
I know, it's your pastor.
Officiated Zach and Tori's wedding.
Right.
Not my pastor.
Not your pastor. I knew it was something.
Jimmy Bins! Yeah. Shout out Jimmy Bins!
He's
got a gold-plated pistol. Shout out Jimmy Bins!
Okay, we'll do Creed from 2015, directed by Ryan Coogler. Say less.
Sweet.
Cool. I'm excited. This will be fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Looking forward to it.
We'll see if, next time we'll talk about, who would win in a fight. Michael B. Jordan as Creed versus Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee?
The Dragon.
Ooh,
as Enter the Dragon.
Okay,
This is a stupid joke. We should just end the pod
It
right
is
now.
a pretty dumb one.
Michael Clayton. Michael Clayton.